You made it. You're here. This is the Create a Six-Figure Online Fitness Coaching Business Using LinkedIn. This is we'll try to wrap it up in 20 minutes or less on how to use LinkedIn to consistently enroll some high-ticket training clients for your personal training business. Regardless if you've ever been on LinkedIn, regardless if you have a following, you could be brand new to all of this. So welcome, friend. Glad you're here. So why are you here? That's probably a question that a lot of people ask, like, what are you doing here? But I already know why. You're a fitness trainer or a coach. That's how you stumbled across this. You might have aspirations to be one. But the big thing is you're here because you want to make more money in your business and you want to do it without working 80 hours a week. And there's got to be another way to do it. You've seen other people out there, maybe in your gym, maybe online, maybe people you follow, and they are selling their services online, working with high-end ticket clients, and they are making a bunch of money. And you're out there struggling in the grind, fist fighting it out on LinkedIn or Instagram to get some followings here. So you, friend, are in the right place. First off, just think about this little statement. I like it a lot. There are a million ways to make $1 million. So there's a lot of different ways to do things. This is just one of the tools that'll help you get you there in your business, help you grow your fitness coaching business to six figures. We never said how many six figures. And over time, that could be $1 million, or maybe blow up and become huge. And this is one of the tools in your toolbox to get you there. So what are we going to cover today? We'll talk a little bit about what is LinkedIn, why you should care, a bunch of dumb stuff other people tell you what to do. I'm going to kind of interrupt in the middle of that, tell you a little bit more about me. But if you've seen Star Wars, you might recognize this picture. This is the young Jedi, Luke Skywalker. He is on his way to becoming a master, but before he can become a master, he has to go see Yoda, and Yoda shows him the way. So if you want to think about what's going to go on in this presentation, that is you. You are Luke Skywalker, or whoever your favorite hero of the day is, and that is me, your Jedi Master, here to guide you through the things I've learned along the way. So, and then we're going to go into how we're going to use LinkedIn to actually do all this stuff. So why you should care about LinkedIn. Here's a bunch of stuff on the screen. I'll leave it on there long enough that you can read it if you so choose to, but I'm going to give you the highlights of what it says. So LinkedIn a lot of times is thought of as this boring social media that is there for business and job hunters and job seekers to post their resume. It's where we just look for jobs and post articles from the Wall Street Journal. And I can guarantee you that it is not that case. It is right now in 2023, 930 million members are active on here in more than 200 countries and territories. There is huge opportunity to connect with anybody across the world, but also has the capabilities of getting you connected to smaller niche markets, such as the city you live in. On average, LinkedIn users have over 400 connections. And maybe in the social media world, that might sound a lot because everybody's aspiring to have 1 million followers. But 400 connections is a lot of people. Most of us in our day-to-day lives have a hard time connecting with more than 150 people in total in our life and maintaining those relationships. So 400 is a pretty big number. And what does that mean? It means that there's people out here looking to network. They're looking to solve the problems that they need solved. And fitness is one of those things that they need solved. And there's not that many fitness trainers on here. So it's very easy for somebody in your space to start creating a profile, start becoming active on LinkedIn, and start connecting with a big, broader audience that's increase the likelihood of generating some leads and referrals. The other really cool thing about LinkedIn, it has significant engagement. This website is very social in the context of one-to-one connections. So in maybe Facebook and Instagram, it becomes a big following with not as many followers, or vice versa. And so you're relationship is one-sided. We're just there to scroll the feed, see what's got there. LinkedIn is about connection. It's about engagement. It's about conversation. So while people do post content, a lot of networking happens on the content, in the direct messages, and then it extends to all side. This is about networking and building relationships. So why you should care about LinkedIn, all those things. It's a global networking party. Some other cool things about there. We're talking big buck hiring, high income people, high net worth individuals, CEOs, presidents, vice presidents, directors, managers, anybody that's in a space that's got a business, chances are they have a profile. And this is a chance for you to actively seek them out and get connected to them. You can't do that on Instagram, can't do that on Facebook. It's hard to figure out who people are without paying for ads and targeting them that way. With LinkedIn, you can do some quick searches, find people that you think are your ideal clients, and start connecting to them. It's a great space to provide professional credibility. It's essentially a text-first platform, although it may not look that way. If you scroll the feed, there might be a lot of carousel posts, there might be a lot of photo posts, but essentially it is not a look at me content generation. It is a way to establish credibility and expertise and sample who you are. And by sample, I might mean sampling your knowledge, sampling the services you offer, but also sampling you as a person, as a human, and the things you have going on. So it's a great way to start establishing yourself of what you are. Great way to network, great way to connect outside of your social circles. It's all about those one-on-one conversations. And cool thing is, a lot of decision makers on there. So we can connect with corporate decision makers. So a lot of times corporate wellness contracts, working with large companies with some contract work there. You can get in front of people that could not only give you one client, but maybe give you 10, 15, 20, or a whole slew of people within the organization have access to them. So tons and tons and tons of opportunity. It's awesome. I should just leave it here because it's so powerful. Anyways, so the question is, how do you get in front of potential clients that can afford your higher ticket programs? And the answer is LinkedIn. And I am going to show you how. So we all know what most trainers are doing. You've probably been doing the same thing. You're tapped out in capacity with in-person training, meaning the only way for you to make more money is to work more hours. And at some point in your business, you cannot work any more hours without just it being a grind, right? If you're charging 75 to $100 an hour, you're working 40 hours a week. That is really $4,000 a week. That's about as much as you'll ever be able to charge. And that does include managing your business, doing all the things outside of those hours that you're charging for clients, to grow, to market, to do research, to do nutrition plans, right? There's a lot of things. So chances are you're probably not doing 40 hours of training that you're getting paid for. You're maybe working 50, 60 and probably getting compensated at like 20, 30 of those hours. So you decide like, hey, I need to create some online training so I can scale. So you created a program. Nobody signed up. Nobody knows what you're doing. Nobody knows how to find you. It really didn't, translate to those big blow up websites you're seeing on the other people you follow. Then you go on social media and you try using LinkedIn, we're not talking about LinkedIn. We're talking about Instagram. We're talking about Facebook. And you find out that, guess what? As soon as you start posting content about how awesome of a trainer you are, you realize there's a lot of other people doing exactly that same thing. And the more you try to stand out, the more you look the same, and you get kind of like washed out in this sea of people doing exactly what you're doing. So that's social media toll. It takes its grind. You're spending precious hours that you could be working with your clients, helping them achieve their goals, trying to build an online business, only to get the traffic that you don't want. You're getting maybe a couple looky-loos. You're getting people that sign up and quit real quick. They're not really engaged in who you are. And what you don't know is that LinkedIn has this ability to stand out because there's not a lot of trainers on there. And problem is, most coaches don't know that LinkedIn's got this potential. They've never used it before. They don't understand its potential. They don't know how to use it to exponentially grow their business, so they avoid it. But I have a strategy for you. And this strategy works whether you've been on the platform or you've never been there before. If you've got an online business, you're looking to transition, And if you've never used LinkedIn before, it will work. You do not have to grow a following first before you can start making just massive scale in your connecting with other people. Unlike other platforms, you don't have to create a lot of content to see a lot of movement. So I'm going to show you how all this works in a moment. But first, I wanted to show you about some results. So I'm not the only person that's probably talked about using LinkedIn to sell fitness courses or fitness programs to high ticket clients. There's a lot of people on there. So the other gurus will tell you some stuff. They're going to tell you, hey, I've got Dan. He made $21,000 over a month's worth of sales in just 4 calls. Cody made $8K in 30 days. Caitlin made $20K in 1 year from just using those strategies, right? These things, we see them all the time. People making a ton of money from like 4 calls from no effort. It's quite possible that those results are real. In all likelihood, I don't doubt that this person has helped their clients get those wins, but I'm gonna err on the side of caution to you that's probably not likely the case. So they're really trying to get you into a funnel. They're trying to get you to buy their program. So they're going to tell you in a 20-minute training, like my 20-minute training, they're going to tell you how if you implement this strategy, you're going to make a bunch of money. But you watch the whole training, they never show you how to actually engage the potential clients to do this. They don't tell you how to actually do the script, and they never show you how to close the deal. They just kind of say like, hey, if you do this simple thing, you're going to get a bunch of money. So if you really want to find out what they want you to do, you got to pay for the course to get the details and the scripts they use. So the course isn't really that helpful. You might say, well, how do you know those things don't work? How do you know that their scripts, that their connection requests, that their strategy isn't working? And I'm going to tell you the reason I know is because I'm that guy that they're talking about trying to get the message. I'm the potential high ticket mark. And I can tell you from experience, this sales process that they're talking about is not that easy. So I want to give you a little bit about who I am, so it kind of makes sense why I am that guy that knows about this. So a little bit about me. My name is Nate Peo, and I'm my full-time job is a vice president in a Fortune 500 company. So I'm that person, right? I'm the high ticket, high income earning person that's out there that you want to get connected to. Now, just because I have that title doesn't mean that I'm actually that high income person, but that's, the perception that a CEO, a vice president, they're running around with Tony Robbins and stuff. But aside from that, so I've been on LinkedIn for a long, long time. I created my LinkedIn profile in 2008. And I just kind of had it there. It wasn't really doing much, just accepted every connection request that came across and used it to essentially connect with people in my industry. And other than that, I didn't do anything with it. But along came Gary Vaynerchuk in 2018, and he told me, he didn't tell me it personally, but he's talking about social media strategies. And at the time, I felt that I wasn't playing big enough in my potential with my career, with my performance, with what I wanted to accomplish. And I kind of had this feeling, this calling that I wanted to do more. I wanted to help more. And I kind of knew it wasn't going to be in the space within my 9-to-5 job. Hence why I'm here helping you find your passion, find your purpose. But anyway, so Gary Vaynerchuk through social media, he said, hey, right now, if you want to grow a social media following, you want to be on LinkedIn or TikTok. Those are the two right now that have the most potential for growth. And since I had already been kind of hanging out on TikTok or LinkedIn for 10 years, just collecting a following, I kind of thought, hey, you know what? I'll start there. So that's when I went out, and in about a year's time, I would consider that I have mastered LinkedIn and became a super connector. So I wasn't an avid networker at the time. I was kind of one of those people that was shy, hung on the corner at networking events, never really did much networking outside on social media, but I got out of my comfort zone, mastered LinkedIn, and became a super connector. Right now I have 13,000 followers, 500 plus connections. So that's lingo there, but they're basically the same. My content has had over 155,000 impressions over the last year, and I'm not even posting that much content right now on the platform. Maybe once a week. At the time of this recording is kind of where I've fallen back to from daily posting. So I just want you to know that I'm the person that sits on the other side of that screen that gets the message from somebody trying to sell them something. And chances are they're not going to just send me a message and tell me how they are going to save my health and nutrition problems in one email, and I'm going to give them $4,000, right? That's not going to happen that way. That's not saying that I would not hire somebody for $4,000 to do this stuff. I'm just saying that the simplicity of it all is not going to happen from a random message outreach. But it can be done with work. So that's where we're going to go next. So I'm going to show you how you can actually realistically do LinkedIn to get in front of the people you want to get in front of. So we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to talk about this strategy, and I'm throwing this out at you really fast, really quick, very simple. Trying to make it a simple concept, but you're still going to have a lot of questions. And if you start trying to implement them, the questions are going to come up. So at the end of the call, I'm going to drop a link for you to book a call. And this call is free, no cost to you. It's just a chance to, hey, those things you're telling me about on this call, on this webinar, how do I really do it? So without further ado, let's go. So step one, you have to do this if you want to be on LinkedIn, is you have to create a profile. You do have to be on the account, on the platform. So create a LinkedIn profile. I'm not going to get into the details on how to do it. It's pretty simple to do, and don't really worry about it being all perfect to start, because you're going to change, you're going to evolve over time. The key is to get it up, but you do need a profile photo. Again, you want it to be kind of in this picture screen you see of me on this camera. It's about that size. It's going to be your face. It's going to be you smiling. It's going to show your eyes, and it wants to be good, clear, crisp photo. But it needs to be, doesn't need to be professionally done, but don't be holding a bass fish or something up like that. You want to be able to see your face. You're going to have a headline graphic. So behind on your profile, when you saw on my previous one, so that's my profile, then you have a headline profile, which is this billboard that you can put a little bit more about who you are. Once you do, you can easily create a graphic like that in Canva. There's templates for it. And then you're going to write an about section. It's your profile. I don't remember the total characters you get, but it's like 2,000. So you can write a little novel about yourself and what you do. The important thing is you want to be clear and concise. I mean, don't be tricky. Don't be catchy, kitschy, whatever you're trying to do. Just be very clear that you are a personal trainer that serves XYZ client. They're looking to do XYZ thing you help them to do. And you can update that as you grow. Just be simple. Somebody lands on your profile, they go, oh, I'm very clear what it is that you do. So step two, we're going to do an inbound strategy. So this, what I mean by that is you are creating content that if people discover you, they land on your page, they're going to find out a lot about what you're doing. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, on how to do it. The important thing is that you're creating a bit of content that gives people a sample of who you are and what you do. So when I say what you do and who you are, you're not one-dimensional. You're not just a personal trainer that only goes to the gym and that's your only personality. You have other things going on. You have an origin story. You have why you found training, why you want to help other people, why you find nutrition is the key to whatever it is that you find important on. These are the chance to talk about those things in a context that people can relate to. So try to find a content schedule that you can stick to. You don't need to be on Instagram 2 or 3 times a day. It's not like Twitter or the new app Threads where you want to post 5 or 6 times an hour or whatever that shit is right now. But basically once a week, is enough. If you can, try to go for 2 to 4 posts per week. The important thing is that you want to be consistent. The algorithm kind of rewards people for consistency. So if you're only posting one time a week, even if it's only that one time a week, the algorithm says like, hey, this person only posts one time a week. They're gonna push it out to the followers on that one time. It kind of gets to know you. There's some nuances to it. Don't worry about the algorithm. Just be posting consistently. So what should I post about? What should you post about? What you do, who you help, why people would work with you. So again, that's going to be the problems you solve, who you are, the niche you're working with, right? You want to be clear. And then slice of life. People want to see other aspects of you. So some of the best performing contents are just random nonsense that happens in everyday life that people relate to. Again, there's a million ways to write content. There's a million things to do on the Q&A session. I can help you with ideas around that, but the important thing is to take away, make some content. But on the inbound stuff, the real magic happens in the comments. I'd already told you, LinkedIn is a networking platform. It is about two-sided relationships. It is about when me and you are connecting and having a conversation versus me posting a pretty picture and 6,000 people interact with it, but I never talk to any of them again. The comments is where you want to be. So rule number one, if you make a post and somebody comments it, you must reply to that post or that comment. That'll drive engagement. It'll start building relationships with the people that are commenting on what you're doing. And the other big thing is to go on the platform 2 or 3 times a day, maybe in the morning, lunch, and in the evening, and just scroll the feed. And as you're scrolling on the post you find interesting, make a compelling comment. Don't just go like, hey, nice job. Like nobody gives a shit about that. But if you can ask a question about like, hey, that's something that's really cool. What would you say more about that thing? A question begins a conversation. Conversations get engagement. People love it when you're supporting their posts. So if you can make 3 to 5 comments every time for a total 1 to 15 a day, it's going to be huge growth in your outreach. Even if your content isn't you're not producing a lot of content, commenting is going to really be the win there. So that's your inbound strategy. Keep that very, very simple. I'm going to talk about the outbound strategy. The outbound strategy is where you are actually targeting and making connections with the exact person you wanted to work with. So let's just say I am that person and I'm a vice president in a big company and I travel a lot. And you work with people that travel a lot. They don't have time to dial in their nutrition. They don't know what to eat on the road and they don't know what to do when they're working out. And chances are it's going to be at a hotel. Like, right, there's a niche there happening. So when you kind of figure out that niche, you can start trying to connect with people that are more likely to fit into that profile. So we start sending out some connections every single day. We want to send out about 20 connection requests every single day to people you want to work with and people who can become referral partners. So I want to kind of spend a little time on this one right here. LinkedIn at the moment, I think it caps you out at about 100 connection requests per week. That's why I say 20. It's like basically 20 5 days a week, Monday, Wednesday through Friday. A lot of people don't get on LinkedIn on the weekends. That's a whole nother story. So people you want to work with, but also referral partners. So if you haven't already done this in your business, a referral partner is somebody who doesn't really, they don't compete with you, but they're complementary services. So if I'm a hairstylist, right? Chances are if I'm a hairstylist, somebody that does, nails or pedicures, like the same people that get the nails and pedicures done, chances are they work with a beauty stylist. So those two people can be like, hey, you need your nails done? Use my friend. Oh, you need your hair done? Use my friend, right? So a good referral partners in the personal training space could be people in that space. They could also be other types of coaches. There's tons of coaches on LinkedIn for people that like business coaches, life coaches, other things. You'll kind of know who you can pass back and forth referrals and connect with, but connect with those people too, because they're going to help and support you. So after you've sent out your connection request, that person is going to get a notification in their inbox that, hey, you want to connect with them. And they'll probably go look at your profile, see what you're about, and make sure you're not a complete nut job. And once they've determined that, then they'll accept your request. And you'll get a notice that they've accepted your request. So what you want to do is send them a direct message. And you've probably done this before. You've probably been immediately pitched on somebody wants to sell you some stuff. Like, hey, nice to meet you. You want to buy my insurance program? Like, no, like, chill out, dude. I don't want to hear about that. I don't need that. You're bombarding me. I don't like you, right? So we never, ever, 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 never, ever, never, ever send the sales pitch in the first message. We call that in LinkedIn lingo, it's called the pitch slap, and it's going to blow up in your face. And if you do it, don't worry about it. We've all done it. We've all learned our lessons the hard way on how to create appropriate messages that start a conversation rather than a sales call that kind of ends in this pitch slap. So the intent is not to sell. It is to strike up a conversation that is interesting enough that the person would want to get on a call with you to learn more about what you do. And they might want to know what you do because they might need your services. They might want to get on a call with you to network, and maybe you guys can support each other's, through networking of other things, or they just might be, like, hey, I've want to know more about what this is. And chances are, they might not need what you need at that exact moment, what you're selling at that exact moment, but in the future, when they do need it, they're going to remember you and come back to it. So I'm going to kind of show you to graphically what it looks like. If you're on LinkedIn, you go to the LinkedIn search button here. So I just typed in real estate agent. Maybe that's your target niche, as you work with a lot of real estate agents. So you can do, boom, real estate agent. I search for that, search for people, and it gives me a list of 1.78 million people on LinkedIn right now that have real estate agent in their profile. Tons of stuff. I can filter it further to connections. That's how many people I'm connected to that they are already connected. So if it's already one-to-one, I already know them, that's a first level connection. If I know you and you know somebody else, that's a second level connection. And if I don't know that person and you don't know that person and nobody that we know knows that person, that's a little third level. It's not as many of those. But that second level connection is kind of where you'll be. Location, you can filter it down to companies within your geographical target. So if you're doing online, but you're US based, maybe it's just USA. Maybe it's only in California. Maybe it's only in Los Angeles. Maybe it's only in a 10-mile radius of a certain town. Like, those are things that you can do. You can filter out companies. Maybe State Farm has their corporate headquarters in your thing. You want to connect to everybody in that space or whatever. Maybe you're looking for people like HR, human resource, the head of human resources for companies in the United States that work for a company that's large. You could get that filtered down to just those people, right? So the search parameters are endless. This is what's really, really good about it. We can really be niche down on who we're trying to connect to. So we do that search. We have a little list of people, and then boom, you have that little connect button. So you just hit connect, connect, connect. So that one's message. That means I've already been connected to them. So you go through, connect those people, 20 per day, 5 days a week, and you send them out. Now they've accepted your connection request and you want to connect with them. So this is my one of the examples I'm showing you of conversations I have with people on LinkedIn. I do this every single day. Not everybody accepts some requests, not everybody responds, but chances are the majority of people will at least respond, and the ones that do, they're highly likely to be able to get on a phone call with me. So I have what I like to call an icebreaker, just like, hey, thanks for connecting. Hope you're having a great day. I'd love to learn more about what you do, what you're passionate about, and what big ideas you're working on. So people love talking about themselves. And you get them going, talking about themselves, you're going to start to build rapport. They're going to want to, man, that person's pretty awesome. Like, I want to know more about what they're doing too. So this is an example of the conversation kind of goes, and I skip to the end. And so I said, "Oh yeah, we've coached. Like, hey, maybe it'd be a little bit easier if we just kind of took this off the text message and jumped on the call." And I drop in my Calendly. There's an automated calendar scheduling app. It's super easy. Drop it in. They find a time that works for them, and boom, now I have a meeting set. It's as simple as that. So if you're doing that every single day, you're going to be able to have 1 to 2, 2 to 3 phone calls with ideal clients every single day. So when we go into the meeting, we want to have an agenda. We want to have a plan. It does want to be casual. This isn't a, high pressure, high sales call. This is basically just a chance to find out what it is they're doing and do they have some problems that they need solved. They may, at the moment, need your exact services, but chances are it's not what they want solved at the exact moment. What you're there to do is give them a little brief introduction of what you do, who you do, and what it might be like to work with you or the types of people you work with. But it also might be helping them in another way. A lot of times they have other problems that are pressing for them at the moment, and they just might be one connection away from solving that problem, and that one connection might be somebody that you know. So you're looking to say like, hey, maybe there's somebody I could introduce you to that could help them out. Maybe they're trying to get connected to somebody in a department at another company, and you know that person, and you have an in because you've been out here networking. You got tons of other people in your space, or maybe they need a service like, hey, just moved into town. Where's the best mechanic? I gotta get my oil changed. Stuff like that helps them out. The best way to network is know the person that they need to meet. So if they have a problem and you can introduce them to somebody that they need to meet, super easy to make that connection. And sometimes it's you, most often it's another person, but we're building a long-term relationship with this person, and these things have a way of returning them to you. So when I started off, told you about that in 2018, 2019, my LinkedIn strategy was to meet with 2 new people that I'd never met before every single day on a virtual call. Now, at the time, COVID was kind of just happening, so it went easier because everybody was at home, nobody had anything to do. But if I met with 2 new people every day for 5 days a week, and over the course of a year for 50 weeks, give myself a 2-week vacation, I'd meet 500 new people. That's 500 new people I actually had a personal phone call with, and every single person I met with, I would make 2 introductions to somebody that they should meet. So between the little circle we have going on here, that's 1,500 connections being made every year. What ended up really happening was instead of meeting with 2 people every day, I ended up starting to meet with like 4 to 6 to 8. Like my calendar was so full with meeting people, it became overwhelming. I had to actually take a step back and do it with more intention. Like at first, it was just kind of like, hey, let's just network, see what happens. And it snowballed. So doing it with intention, those 2 people you're meeting with every day are 2 people that you are trying to get your message in front of, and they are seeking out what you're doing. So you're having a lot of conversations, and we all know sales is a numbers game, and whatever that ratio is, you're going to have a closing ratio of the number of people that you talk to will sign up for what you do. So the way to do that, more at bats, more opportunities. That is kind of it in a nutshell. Oh no, we got step 4. We're going to follow up. So, almost missed this really good part of it. So we always want to follow up with the connections. So sometimes people don't respond after the first message. We can drop back in there a couple weeks later and just, hey, checking in. Maybe you didn't get this message. Maybe the time wasn't right, but just want to say hi. If you did meet with them, maybe you gave them some advice or you gave them a sample. You want to follow up with how it went. If you gave them a referral, find out how that referral worked for them. You want to continue these conversation, and always at the end, ask them if they know someone else who might find value in what you do. There's nothing better than somebody saying, I don't know I don't need what you need, but I do know somebody that does, and I'm going to send them your way. So that becomes instead of a cold lead, it is a warm lead. And that's what we want to do. So when you go on these other guru calls, they're not going to tell you exactly how to do those steps. It's pretty simple and it's kind of repetitive. It absolutely works and it's a ton of fun meeting new people, but it is work. I'm not going to lie to you. It is not, just talk to four people and you sell each one on a $4,000 thing. It might take you 10 conversations to sell two. But if you're selling, $1,000 packages, you really only need about 8.5, 9 people to make $100,000 a year. So 9 people sign up for you over 3 months. That's 3 per month. Maybe you're selling 25%. So if you have 12 conversations every month to get 3 new clients, right? That's simple math, how you get there very easily. And chances are you're going to be talking to a lot more people than that. You're going to be closing a lot more deals. So the potential there, wow, it's fantastic. We talked about this work. We talked about 5 invites is not going to equal 5 calls and 2 sales for 5,500, 5,000 per month, whatever that is. You do need to put in the effort and have real conversations, and you need to build real relationships. Absolutely works. So I'm sure you've got a ton of questions. And I want to help you with that. I want to answer those questions for you. This is a lot to take down. It's like drinking from a fire hose. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's not that hard to teach you how to do it, but you're going to get better at it with time. There's a little bit of a learning curve. So I want to help you with that. So next steps is to answer those questions. So I would like you to book a Q&A session with me. Normally that's a $100 value, but I already told you at the beginning of this webinar that it was going to be free to you. But I want you to know it would normally be a $100 value. While we're on that call, take a look at your profile and I'll give you some tips and audit things you could do to improve it, to stand out a little bit more. Normally, some people would charge you $150 or more to give you a profile audit. We're going to do that, like I said, on this call for free. And we're going to do a networking and offer coaching. So that would be a $150 value as well. So if you're asking like, well, how do I send a message? What should I put in this message? Okay, I'm going to help you craft up messages that are intriguing enough, short enough to get a response to start a conversation. And if you do get on a call with somebody, how you can present your offer that they may be interested in and signing up for. So networking and offer coaching to give you a little bit of strategy of what you're doing when you're on that call. That's $150 value. But I already told you, this call is free. I'm going to throw in a couple bonuses. So there is a way that you can actually automate this process. Not all of it, but some of it. You can take some of the back end stuff out of it. So I will walk you through how to automate your outreach, how to automate your initial message, and how to automate the signing up for a meeting, and how to automate turning that meeting into a sales funnel to continually go out there and reach out to them. I'm also going to give you my course. I have a little short slideshow. It's called How to Slide in the DMs. It's basically how to write really short, engaging, direct messages to people that they will respond to. You probably say, oh, yeah, right. That's not going to work. I can promise you these big, long, crafted emails that people read, they don't read them. They delete them. Time is short. Time is money. People move quickly through it. So if it's not about them, they're not going to care. If it's too long, they're not going to care. So this gets them kind of be intrigued enough to respond back. And that's what we're going to do. So we got the 3 things. We got the bonus. We have the total value. This call that you can book, it's got $450 worth of value to it. But I already told you it was free. This is a free call for you. Boom, all that. So I've showed you how to watch through the course of the video, how to do the steps. So you have this, you can refer back to it. You can figure it out on your own. You can book a call with me, and I can help you figure it out with a little bit more help. So we have do it yourself, we have a do it with you call, and then boom, you're off to the races. So with that, what are you waiting for? Here's a link to book the LinkedIn Growth Strategy call with me. There's a QR code. You can scan it from your phone right now. Boom, pop up on your phone. You'll book it. This is just one of those little show how to do it, how you can get somebody to go to your calendar link and book a call with you. This is an example of it. So I did promise 20 minutes. That did not end up being the case. We're a little bit closer to 40. But there was just way too much information to cram it down there in such a short period of time. So what I suggest you do, book this call right now. And in the meantime, rewatch the video and create your LinkedIn profile and start testing it out. You can't go wrong with testing and trying people that are on LinkedIn. They know that we're all got to start somewhere. We got to figure it out anywhere. And people are friendly. People want to connect with other people. So what are you waiting for? Let's book that call right now. I'll leave it up here for a little bit. You're still here? I hope you booked it. Looking forward to chatting with you. Have a great one.